Welcome, fellow time travelers, to TTSCaveman, the destination where history and future collide in the most extraordinary ways. I'm your narrator, a voice from the ether, a digital caveman, if you will, here to guide you through the mysteries of time and space. On this channel, we dive deep into the unexplained, glitches in the matrix, time jumps, supernatural encounters, and phenomena that challenge our reality, like the Mandela effect. We'll be exploring stories that will make you question everything you thought you knew about the world around you. These are not your ordinary campfire stories, but tales woven from the threads of reality and the uncharted territories of the universe. Prepare to have your perception of reality twisted, turned, and sometimes completely shattered. So if you're ready to embark on this mind-bending journey with us, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss a single episode. Remember, in this digital cave of ours, the only light comes from the tales we tell. Now let's step into the unknown and see what secrets time has in store for us today. Title: The Unfamiliar Reflection. I've always been an early bird, getting up before dawn, savoring a hot cup of coffee in the stillness of the morning. It's been a ritual of mine for years. But one winter morning, something strange happened. I woke up as usual, made my coffee, and sat down at the dining table. The sun was just beginning to peek over the horizon, casting a warm glow on the sleepy neighborhood. The entire scene was mirrored in the large, ornate, antique mirror that hung on the dining room wall. I've had it for years, a family heirloom passed down from my grandmother. That's when I noticed it. In the mirror, the neighborhood was not bathed in the gentle light of dawn. Instead, it was nighttime. Street lamps were lit, houses were dark, and the sky was a pitch black dotted with stars. I blinked hard, shook my head, thinking I must still be half asleep, but the mirror's reflection remained the same. The strangest part? There was a man in the mirror's reflection, standing on the sidewalk opposite my house. He was looking directly towards my window, my house, as if he knew I was watching. I immediately turned to look out the window, but there was no one there. It was just a peaceful, ordinary morning outside. I looked back at the mirror. The man was still there, in the nighttime that shouldn't exist. He slowly raised a hand and waved, a small, unsettling smile playing on his lips. I stood, backing away from the table, from the window, from the mirror. I blinked, rubbed my eyes, but the scene remained the same. In a panic, I ran upstairs, scared out of my wits. I didn't know what to do. Was I losing my mind? Was this some kind of prank? I decided to wait, to let the sun rise a bit more, hoping the light would somehow correct this impossible glitch. After an hour, I gathered the courage to go back downstairs. The mirror now showed the same morning scene that was outside my window. The man was gone. I moved out of the house not long after that. I couldn't shake off the eerie feeling, the memory of that man waving at me. And the mirror? I left it behind. Some things, even family heirlooms, are better off forgotten. I moved into a small apartment in the city. It was a change, but one that I welcomed. Anything to get away from the memory of that mirror. I was starting to sleep better, adjusting to the sounds of traffic and sirens in the night. But just when I thought I had put the past behind me, it caught up with me. It was a Friday evening. I had just come back from work, ready to sink into my couch and lose myself in some TV. As I was scrolling through the channels, I froze. There on the screen was the same man I had seen in the mirror. It was a news channel. The man was being interviewed about a book he had written, something about parallel universes and time travel. I sat up, heart pounding in my chest. The man's name was Dr. Richard Ainsley. He was a theoretical physicist, it seemed. I listened as he talked about the possibility of multiple dimensions existing simultaneously, each with a different timeline. Could this be the explanation? Had my mirror somehow tapped into one of these dimensions? I knew I had to meet him, to tell him what I had experienced. After a series of emails, he agreed to meet me. I poured out my story to him, every detail of that winter morning. He listened patiently, his eyes never leaving my face. When I was done, he leaned back in his chair, deep in thought. Finally, he spoke. He said he couldn't confirm if what I'd experienced was a glitch in the matrix, a bleed-through from a parallel universe. But he didn't dismiss me either. He said the universe was full of mysteries that science was only beginning to understand. He promised to look into it, to see if there were similar instances, other people who had experienced what I had. As I walked out of his office, I felt a strange sense of relief. Maybe I wasn't losing my mind. Maybe, just maybe, I had been a part of something bigger, something beyond ordinary understanding. I still don't have any answers, and maybe I never will, but I've learned to live with the mystery, the memory of a morning that was both ordinary and extraordinary in its own way.